I'm like fixing my hair. What's up, everybody? Talk about a real Facebook Live. That's what's nice about the camera. You can check yourself out and make sure everything's all how you want it, right? So welcome, welcome. I'm Kimberly Olson, also known as the Gold Digger Girl, and I am going to be doing an interview tonight. Woo woo. So hopefully you guys got the notifications for that. And let me just see who is on tonight. Go ahead and put one in the comments. Hi, Vanette. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Leanne. Put one in the comments if you're watching this live. Put two if you're watching the replay. If you're new and have never seen my videos before, welcome. I'm Kimberly Olson. Put new in the comments. If you've never seen Victoria Alexander before, we have done an interview together, but a lot of you have not seen it because it was I washed my hair, Lauren. That's probably why you like it. It was probably, gosh, almost a year ago. So it's been some time, Victoria. We need to really get on that. So, hi, Jennifer. Jennifer's our upline, which is really fun. Oh, Victoria's on here. Okay, awesome. Let me see if it lets me put her on. Yes, I'm adding you on, Victoria, if you're watching. It's working. So put new if you're new to Victoria, if you've never seen her videos before, okay? We'll give her a second. It says it's adding and connecting. We did it! Woo! That's so
Hey,
exciting.
that's the first time I've actually come on live without any issues.
Yay! That's good karma for sure. Yeah. So there's this funny thing, not funny, but if you guys have never done Facebook Live interviews before, the president of our company actually was trying to do a Facebook interview live one time and couldn't get on. So it happens to everybody. So it's good karma that you just came on right away, Victoria. So I'm going to let them share. So what I want you to do is if you know anybody who is in network marketing, direct sales, has their own business online or does sales, so realtors, independent contractors, anybody you know that basically has to open their mouth and share what they do. So it's pretty much everybody. Even teaching, I've taught Sunday school before, and you can't let those kids run you over. So if you know anybody who has to share and maybe has some fears around that, this is what I want you to do. I want you to put share it in the comments. Share it and put share in the comments. And then I want you to tag some people. So there's a little @ symbol. You do @ and you can tag people, or you can hit the share button and invite people on live. Isn't that cool? There's so many ways. Thank you for sharing, Anna, because sharing is caring, as you guys know. So Victoria, we're going to talk about fears and things like that. So Victoria is such an important person in my life because she's going to tell you guys the story of how she got me to sign up after she had gotten me to sign up with 1 or 2 other direct sales companies. I'd done 4 companies, failed at all of them, didn't do anything. Yes, she got me to sign up with 1 other company before the one we're with now, and nothing happened with it. I had a website, so I was like, oh, I have a website. People are going to come buy it, and they didn't. So I was like super skeptical, but because of her, my life has been forever transformed. And if any of you have ever gotten any value from me, what I want you to do is to hit the thumbs up or the hearts, because you ultimately owe it to her, because she is the reason why I'm here. I would not be doing
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, you guys. I would be sitting at my SHITTY job and just being mad, and I'm not, and it's because of her. So thank you so much, Victoria. But let me just introduce her. We met, gosh, this was before Addison. So maybe 6 years ago, we worked for a nutrition company together, and she was the sales rep for Texas. And we spent a lot of time together because I was the educator. So I would come into town, Dallas, Fort Worth, and I would spend the whole week with her. My very first business trip when I was nursing, you guys remember what that's like. Addison was 2.5 months old, and I'm like, oh, I can travel. I'm just Superwoman. And Victoria watched Addison for a couple days while I went off and did my thing. So she's a part of my family. But most importantly, she has helped me grow so much as a person. Like just last week, she had me in tears for a good reason of tears of just
sorry.
I know, she was like, I'm sorry, I'm making you cry. And I'm like, no, it's good. Like she was asking me questions that your upline and mentors should be asking you, and it really helped me even realize more stuff about myself. So I can't say enough about you, but let me chat with you and let them hear about you. So to start, why don't you tell them your experience with me and getting me to get on board? What did you do to get me to join your team?
Well, what I did originally wasn't so great. But I'm glad I did it that way because it's quite comical and it was very educational. So when I first approached Kimberly, because obviously I knew she was a badass, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, when you first joined network marketing, you're like, who would be great on your team? And automatically Kimberly popped in my head. And so I messaged her and I'm like, projecting, as some would say. Hey, girl, you should totally do this business with me. I just wanted to tell you. And then she's like, no, I'm not going to. And I'm like, but why not? Like, that's silly. And then she said, yeah, no, I'm not going to. And then I asked her like 5 minutes later, and I'm like, you know, I'm like, yes, you are. And then like 30 minutes later, I ask her again. You know, a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and I'm constantly just saying the same thing over and over. And I'm just saying, girl, you got to do this business with me. And finally it got to the point, I hope it's okay.
You can say it, yeah.
Okay, it's really funny. She said, girl, she said, I'm not doing this business. She's like, you need to stop. You're making me really uncomfortable.
So embarrassing.
And I was like, oh, you know what?
Right.
You know, I was like, oh crap, I really screwed up. And I wish, did you save that text?
No, because it went away. You know how it goes, yeah, it was gone.
Okay, so it was really funny. Is that I started scrambling. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry, my phone just popped out.
All right, I've done that before.
Live video.
Facebook Lives, legit. There.
It popped out at me. It got so excited about the story. It popped out. Okay, so basically, she was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And she's like, and I was like, I'm so sorry I offended you. I feel terribly. Please forgive me. So then I was like, oh, dang it. I really screwed that up. But then, you know, I've learned from a lot of people, and I know that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. I just wasn't saying the right thing. Like, I was just telling her what I thought she needed to do and not giving her information. And so finally I got her the right information, and then she got a sample, and she learned how to help people, learn how she could be helpful. And that really resonated with Kimberly. And so she's like, yeah, I want to listen to that. Tell me more. And
well,
I was
also
like,
too, one thing that,
awesome.
But what was really, because that was you guys, that was like a 4-month period or even longer. One thing when I noticed is you're very like a blue personality and I'm yellow. Like, we're very different people. We have like the same kind of hearts, but our personalities are very different.
Right.
And you kept saying to me, I don't know if you remember this, you're like, it's so much fun, and we're doing trips, and I was seeing pictures, and I'm like, I wasn't there. I was just all about like, I needed money. Like, my family was sinking. We were in debt. And then you remembered that I like information, because I'm an ingredients nerd, and you remembered I like helping people. So you guys, this is what she does. I run into her at like a little girls' night dinner thing that turned into way too many bottles of wine. And we were sitting on the couch, and she like busts out this big box, and she's like, you say your hair sucks. And I was like, yeah. You were like, well, look at this picture of this girl, and we're in hair care. You were like, look at this picture of this girl. She was 12 and she had alopecia, and the doctors told her she was never going to get her hair back. And look at this, 4 months on this product, no side effects. And I was like, oh. So she got to me. She found the way to communicate to me that made sense to me. And she knew my hair sucked. So she's like, get these samples. And then you guys, you know how you feel frustrated with following up on samples? I was the worst sample receiver ever. She had to follow up like 2 or 3 times. And you were like, I remember you're like, so why don't you go put them in the shower? And I was like, oh yeah. So I finally got him to the shower, and then I forgot again. And she's like, how about you tell me when you're going to wash your hair next, and I'll follow up with you. And I was like, okay, like I needed that, because I was just this crazy mom with 2 babies at home. And Victoria, I mean, girl, I've always said this about you. You are consistent and you're persistent, and it has paid off. If you guys don't know this, Victoria has completely replaced her full-time income. She drives around in a beautiful Cadillac that I've been in, and she has a huge team with our company. I mean, it's all over the place. Oh, it's global now. And she is just an amazing leader. So think about that from just that one sample. If she wouldn't have said to me one more time, hey, I just thought of something, why don't you try it? And I know that you like to help people. Look at these pictures. And she followed up with me. So if you guys think that samples don't work, the fortune is in the follow-up. And you're a big advocate of Eric Warren. You're always talking about him, but kudos to you, because girl, you follow up. That is for sure. You were awesome.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the most important thing, because not everybody realizes, and it's, network marketing is not for everyone. Certainly not. But sometimes, like, I said no for at least a good 4 to 6 months before I actually said yes because I had that fear of failure and I didn't think that I could do it. And I didn't think I had the money to sign up to do it. And then I just was like, I went with my intuition. I was like, why the heck can't I do this? This is hair care. I'm doing it. I'm jumping in. So,
and also too, the fear of failure, because that's a fear that a lot of people have. And I do, like, you know, coaching and stuff like that in small groups. And a lot of people will privately message me or in the group share that they don't know why, but for some reason they're kind of holding themselves back and they're afraid, but they can't figure out why. So for you, you had told me that you had done direct sales before. You actually tried. Like, I just was not a good sales rep. Like, I didn't even open my mouth and tell my husband I was doing it, but you were out there like trying and you weren't successful. How did you go from that to finally saying, I'm going to try this? I mean, there's a shift that happened for you.
Well, I think that I've just always been an entrepreneur. And so I knew that I wanted to have a career where I could help people and have that freedom and have the finances to be able to help people. And so I think I just never let go of that dream. Although I tried different companies, you know, and I didn't believe in myself at first. And I finally was like, wait a minute, why can't I do that? And I'll say that quote by Richard Branson here.
Yes,
because
I love it.
Yeah, that's a great one. Because he says, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. So I think that if you follow your intuition and if you're feeling like you could do something like this or whatever it is your dream is, if you feel like you can do it, then I think you just have to go for it. Like, you cannot overthink it. And I think that was what I was doing. I was overthinking it. I was letting the fear get in my way of failure and not an unknown, fear of the unknown, fear of the finances, fear of the money, fear of not being able to live up to what I was supposed to do. And then I was like, wait a minute, who cares? Like, what do I have to lose? If I don't try, then I'm going to get zero results. I'm going to get nothing. I'm not going to change my life. I'm not going to change the situation I'm in. So what the hell am I waiting for? Like, why not just jump in and do it? Like, what's going to happen? Like, what is going to happen? I'm going to fail again. So what? You know, so what? It wasn't even that expensive to start. And then I jumped in and right off the bat, jumped in and went to work, and it's been a blast. So I'm so thankful. Like, I think it was just the shift of like realizing like, why the heck not? You know?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, Jen Sincere always talks about that in her book of what's the alternative. Like, you just kind of said that. Like, you can either just hate your current situation, or it's even just kind of having that confidence in yourself to go after your dreams, you know, to say, I'm worth it and I deserve it. And if you have a family and you're like, well, yeah, but I stay at home with my kids and that's my place, or, you know, that's what I said I was committed to do. Have a conversation with your husband. You know, you can say, change my mind. Like, we get one life. If you don't like your financial situation, a lot of people are doing side hustles. Direct sales is the fastest growing niche ever, and it's shifting where everything used to be, you know, large, you know, mass scale, and everything is shifting to, you guys, I don't buy anything unless it's Amazon Prime and I have to. I don't buy anything unless it's from a girlfriend now. Like, I only want to support my girlfriends. And that's the movement that we have now. And we have to just say yes and have confidence in ourselves and not have fear. Now, you are the queen of sharing. You guys, I mean, okay, so we were at convention and we all had gotten together. We all got in that first night. And I swear on my life, she flagged down the waitress to take a selfie of all of us, or, you know, a group picture. And while we're all looking at the pictures, Victoria's over there with the waitress and she goes, hey, the girl goes, wow, you guys look like you're having a lot of fun. And Victoria goes, oh, girl, I should totally tell you what I do. Here, put your number in my phone. And she hands her phone over to the waitress. And the waitress is like, okay. And the waitress was phenomenal. Like, she would do great at this business. And of course, I've waitressed before. It's hard to make ends meet, and it's flexible. So you can totally work this in. She walks away with a really great prospect and a connection and made an impact on that person. Like, she could change that person's life. So why don't you talk about sharing in fear? Like, how are you able just to open your mouth? Because you do. I mean, you walk the talk.
Yeah, I guess for me is I don't think about it. Just like what Eric Worre says, you know, let go of the outcome. I think that was my aha moment whenever I finally was like, it's not about me. It's about them. And if it's not for them, that's totally okay. Because not everybody wants to do this. Not everybody's an entrepreneur. Not everybody wants to make a ton of money and have a lot of fun, and that's okay because they don't have to. Some people want a job, and that's cool with them, you know, and with me, that's fine. But I think that I just lost my train of thought.
About
Like,
sharing it without fear.
oh yeah.
Like you're just, it
Oh yeah.
blows my mind.
Okay, so I just don't think about it because I know that I changed your life. I know that whenever I shared with other people on my team, that I made an impact in their lives. So I think about whenever I'm out and about and somebody's complaining, I listen to what they say. If they're complaining about their job, if they say that they wish they could be at home with their family, or they wish that they didn't have to work 2 jobs or 3 jobs, then I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be so rude of me to not share what I have experienced with what I'm doing. And so that's what I think about. I don't think about myself. I think about others. And if they want it, they want it. And if they don't, that's okay. You know, it's okay, but it's my job to let them know about this incredible opportunity and let them know there is a better way. There is something different out there. There is something that they can do that could possibly change their life. There's no guarantee. You have to work at it. It's not easy, but it's not hard either. It's not hard. It's a lot of fun.
Pretty simple.
It's just sticking with it and doing it. And I think that when you honestly are going with your heart and you're thinking about other people, then it's not, you're blessing other people. So it's not, that's how I share so much, because I think about other people.
That's great. And I think too, you've taught me, because trust me, girls, there's been many, many conversations in the last year and a half where I was like, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. And she's like, back me off the ledge. But one of the things I really like is that you've always taught me to let go of the outcome, you know. And also I was holding on for a really long time, Victoria. I would say almost a year, where I would tell her like, I've got this person, they're really interested. And I would get on a 3-way chat with her, and we would get off the phone, or it was just a one-on-one, and you'd be like, okay, like, yeah, that's great, but like, let's keep going. Like, you can't hold on to that one person. And I would hold on to it. Put a 3 in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, where you're just like so consumed by it. Like, you're like, they have to join. I mean, I had this one girl, I was like, she was a hairstylist. I'm like, she's going to take over the whole state. And I was obsessed with it in my mind. And I was like desperate. And I started like, you know, like pushing her a little bit. And I look back and I was connected. I was so hung up on the outcome. And that's one thing that I think you're really good at, but also good at teaching, is you have to let the outcome go. And if it's meant to be, it'll happen. It's not my job to make that person, you know, and that takes the pressure off of you closing. Yes, you want to say, would you like to get started, and do that, but It's not your job to close them. Your job is to follow up professionally, because this is a professional career, and that's it. It's up to them to say yes or no, that I want to jump in and do this, because we've all pushed people in, and what always happens? You're like, dang it.
I always say,
yes, every time.
I always like to say we're the messenger, not the convincer.
Oh,
because
write that down.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I always say that. We are the messenger, not the convincer. We are merely sharing a gift, and it's free to anyone. Well, not technically free, but you know what I mean. It's easy to join, and yeah, either you want it or you don't. We're not going to convince you, because that's not the right way to go about it.
Yeah, and it's freeing. It takes all the pressure off. Now, honestly, I've recruited more people since I shifted to just sharing and letting them decide. And it took all the stress off. Like, that's when I think really prospecting, especially people I didn't know, changed for me, where I enjoy it.
Right.
I know it's a part of my business I need to do, and I don't resist it anymore. Before, I didn't want to do it because there was that tension, and it's gone now for me, you know. One thing I wanted to ask, and this could be a good last question before, if you want to give like a closing tip, but talk to them about your advice that you always give me and other people on, you never know, like, the activity you do is the most important thing, because you never know what's going to lead you. And you've told me this a lot of times, because I've had months where I'm like, Victoria, I have shared to 5,000 people and I'm not where I want to be at, you know, I'm not hitting my goal or whatever. And you've been really good about teaching me that I'm building the foundation for my business, and it's a strong foundation, and I'm able to keep growing off of it. And it's not just, you know, for 1 month and then there's nothing there. So that's great. And I'm so thankful. But can you talk about the advice that you've given me on how you just never know, and you just have to stay in activity and just keep sharing?
Yeah, so I like to use an example of like one of our friends that we joined with. You know, if she would have given up, she would have not recruited like a whole team of people that led to like $1 million in revenue, like, well, not revenue, but in volume on her team. Yeah. So just think about that. And then like, had I not jumped in and like just stuck with activity, then I wouldn't have gotten, you know, my friend from Alaska, and then they took over the whole state of Alaska.
Like,
shout out. Amy Marino, but like, you know, they took over the whole state. And so, I don't know. I think that, I keep losing my train of thought. I don't know what my deal is here.
That's okay. It's a lot going on. And it's staying in activity,
Oh
talking
yeah.
about
Okay.
that. But one of the things that, it's more, you probably don't even know what's in my head of what I think about you. But the thing that I love is that it helps me to be able to keep moving forward in my business, knowing all I have to do is stay in activity.
Oh,
All I
okay.
have to do is share. All I have to do is do events. All I have to do is follow up, and the results will come.
Yeah, so what I like to talk about, I'm just going to give a comparison of something that you can relate to is that like when I lost 30 pounds when I was working out and eating consistently, that every day I didn't see results. I would look in the mirror, and I like to say this, I was like drinking water, and I looked in the mirror and I was still feeling fat, and I'm like, man, you know, I'm not getting any results. But I knew, like everybody knows, if you eat fairly healthy, you work out, then you're going to lose weight. Like you don't see those results along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing in our business. Like you just need to know that if you stay in that constant daily activity and you're constantly working your business, just like you would any other job that you're punching a clock, you're there 40 hours. If you pour that into what we have, you will have a business. You will grow a business. There's no doubt about it. That's a given. Just like you'll lose weight, you'll get in shape, you'll do all those things if you stay in activity. If you don't, then you're not going to have it. It's just not going to work. So that's the beautiful thing about network marketing, is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just do what everybody says. It's a pretty solid system. Stay in daily activity, ask questions, follow up, keep repeating that over and over and over and over, and you'll build a team and you will have results and you will be successful and you will impact lots of people's lives and make a difference in the world, which is what we all want to do. Well,
Yeah.
most of us. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's it.
Yeah, that's great. And as far as like a last closing tip, what would you say is your advice for sticking with it and not giving up? Because you know there was lots of times when I wanted to, but there's people on here that their team isn't going yet and they want to quit. I get a lot of people who message me and I'm like, don't quit. So what would you say as far as sticking with it and not giving up?
I guess just realizing that nothing in life comes overnight. And I think a lot of people think network marketing is like different, but it's not. Like, it's not different. You don't always see what's happening, but a lot of people give up right before they get that person that could have kicked butt. And it's not about like who you know, it's about like who you know that they know that they know that they know. You know what I mean? It's team effort. That's what I love about network marketing, is that it's like empowering everyone and we're all working together to help support one another. And so it's not like you're not going to always see it, but you don't always see the results in anything. And so the only way you don't succeed is if you give up. And so a lot of people make that mistake and they give up way too soon, because guess what? It's not super, super easy. But again, it's not hard. It's talking to people, it's having fun, it's sharing about a wonderful opportunity. And that's it. It's not a hard business. It's pretty simple, but people want results. Just like the weight thing. Like people are working out and they give up on losing weight like a day into it. They're like, oh, I'm still fat. It's like, oh, dude, you just started like yesterday. And so they give up, or they do it for like a week or like 2 weeks or even a month. And it took me like 3 months. And then all of a sudden I was like, holy crap, I just lost 30 pounds. What the heck? Like, I can't fit into any of my clothes. It was so weird because it felt like it happened overnight, but it didn't. It was those 3 months. So I think that, you know, with network marketing, they say what, like a couple of years or something. It can happen faster. Like I earned my Cadillac bonus in like 4 months, but that isn't always the case. But even if it took someone, let's say it took you 2 years to make 6 figures, that's not a bad thing, is it?
No.
I mean, so a lot of people want to give up in network marketing because they feel like they should grow super fast, but ultimately you don't. You put a lot of work in the beginning, so you don't have to in the end. So even if you worked strong for 2 years and then boom, it all fell into place, that's a pretty good return on your investment. That's a pretty good return on your time. And I think it's totally worth it. And that's why I love it.
Yeah. And two, you said about it, they want it to grow really fast. it's self-development, it's self-growth. Like the self-growth has to happen for your business to grow. And so whatever speed you're willing to invest in yourself and push through those barriers and keep growing and feeling uncomfortable and pushing through the fear, just feeling the fear and embracing and then leaning into it, that's going to be the equivalent of the growth of your business. So sometimes people want it right now, but you have a lot of stuff that needs to need to work on. And I think network marketing just highlights it. And a lot of times people don't like what they see. So subconsciously they can kind of sabotage. No, if you just keep going with it and keep pushing, not only are you going to get the business you want, but you're also going to end up being a freaking amazing person. So it's like, why wouldn't you? It's the best thing ever.
I love so much about it. Like you grow so much as a person, you develop so many friendships, and you just learn how to be a badass, and that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I know.
I'm so glad you said yes. So glad that you didn't stay mad at me forever.
No,
and that
I forgave you.
Yeah, that you accepted this gift. So thank you for doing that.
Oh,
you
awesome. So welcome.
Yeah, I love how you've changed so many people's lives and how you've been able to help people. And I'm very honored to have you on my team.
Thank you. So thank you. Yeah, you're a very important person in my life, and you know that, and how much, I mean, you guys, there was this constant, I would text her and say, I hate my job. And it wasn't even my job. It was just, just going to that desk every day. And I knew it wasn't where I was supposed to be, and I wasn't helping people the way. And I would say, I hate my job. And she would always laugh and voice text me back and be like, you just keep going. And I wasn't even close to where I was in a position to quit. And she just kept cheering me on. So just know that you have a very special place in my heart, and you always will. I'm not going to get emotional here. So thank you for being on. I'll let you stay on for a second if you don't mind, so I can give some wrapping up. So thank you, Victoria. You're amazing. So if you guys haven't already registered for my free class tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to basically use Facebook Messenger to automate and work with your prospects, so you can actually basically keep following up with them automatically, which is kind of neat, and be able to offer some content to them and really elevate your business and your brand. So if you want to do the free class tomorrow on ManyChat, space is limited. You can register for that. Go in my group, The Gold Diggers of Network Marketing, and click the events tab. You can also message me on my business page, or I guess my personal page, to get the link if you can't find it. That's tomorrow. If you register, you will get the replay. And then this week is my signature program is kicking off again, the last one until probably March or something, is Rock Your Business on Social Media. It's an 8-week, step-by-step, 8-week program, small group coaching for me to show you exactly how to build your business online. So if you want to build online and you need systems in place, you need to make sure you can duplicate for your team, everything from prospecting, recruiting, to onboarding new people, Facebook Lives, leadership, you name it, it's all in there. Just put bootcamp below, or you can drop your email and I'll send you a note. If you're already on my email list, don't worry about it. I'll send a message out about it, but you can register for that now. Grab your spot. It's starting now, and I'm super excited about that. So for everybody that was on tonight, thank you so much. Thank you, Victoria. And until next time, go out there and crush your goals and create the life of your dreams. I'll see you guys later. Bye.